Hello, DevOps friends. How are you? Welcome to Full Stack Live, my live coding and question and answer channel. I'm Jochen, the Monospace mentor, and I welcome you to my Friday office hour where I am completely unprepared for whatever questions you are going to come up with. So the stage is yours. You decide what we're going to talk about today. And I'll do my best to give you an answer to your questions that is helpful. So, yeah, I'll just lean back and wait for you to come up with questions about Linux, questions about Ruby, questions about software engineering in general, or maybe questions about your IT career or open source software. The spectrum is huge that we can cover here, and I can try and put my more than 30 years of experience in the field to good use and come up with something that is helpful for you. But it's up to you to ask the questions. I only maybe have the answers. So yeah, this is your live stream more than mine. So if there's anything that you'd like to ask, or if there's anything that you'd like to share, I mean, it's almost the weekend, so if you want to share something that you are excited about, did you finish something this week that you're proud of, or maybe you discovered an open source tool that you're excited about, this is a variety stream today, and we'll be able to have conversations about all kinds of stuff. And in the meantime, while I'm waiting here with my seat only getting slightly hotter, I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. This is the only stream where I don't have to wreck my head. Oh, what am I going to do today? What am I going to code? Is there a project that I not like to do? Is there something that I have to do, which is mostly my daily work? Are there any deadlines that I need to meet, and that will then dictate what I'm going to do on stream? Today, I just have to start my stream and wait for people to come up with questions. I also use our Discord to pick questions, but as far as I am aware, there aren't any open questions at the moment. If you want to join us on Discord, where we have a nice, pleasant, friendly community of DevOps practitioners, then you can use the simple Discord URL that I'm going to post in chat. If my system actually responds to my mouse clicks here. Why am I always in caps lock here? Join us on monospacementor.com/Discord, where you can also ask questions. I'll answer there as far as I can, and of course I'll also pick questions from there to answer here on the office hour stream. We had a question on yesterday's stream from YouTube viewer Cherry Ramatis, but I'm holding off on that a little. Maybe they'll join us live and I'll be able to answer their question. Other than that, my questions queue is open and we'll pick up all questions that you post in chat, starting with Q colon. Any questions around open source software is perfect for this office hour, especially if it's about Linux system administration or Ruby software development. These are the main topics that I deal with on a daily basis, and topics that I also cover in my courses, such as the Linux Master Course, of which you can actually join the community edition for free. On a side note, more as a housekeeping note, I discovered this week that I had set my streaming bandwidth quite high, relatively speaking, and I reduced that to 2.5 megabit, and things still look okay, I hope. If there's anything in terms of video quality or audio quality that is missing, let me know. But I think reducing it by 2 megabit didn't do any harm. It just enables more people to watch the stream. And it also makes it easier for me, even though I have lots of headroom in terms of upstream bandwidth. So again, this is the Monospace Office Hour, where I answer your questions. I came completely unprepared. There's nothing that I want to do in this stream other than answering your questions. So don't mind me sitting here monologuing to myself. It's up to you to determine the program. I just enjoy my coffee. Today I started work not realizing that I had the day off, which was weird, until my colleague reminded me that it's our FFF Friday, our Family, Friends and Fun Friday. It's the last Friday in a month, in each month, that we take off as a company and enjoy time with our families, with friends, or just doing fun stuff, recharging, having a little bit of a longer weekend. And I had the calendar that contained that event not shown on my calendar application, so I wasn't aware, and I actually didn't realize that it's the end of November already. And that's why I finished the managing the incident that I was working with, and which because of which I had contacted my colleague in the first place. And after that, I quickly put down my tools and decided, it's going to be more Minecraft than Linux craft today. I already promised my kids that I'll be playing Minecraft with them on our family server, and that's what I'm going to do. It's that F in FFF Friday. It's family time. The Minecraft server was actually one of the first VMs that I installed on my home lab server when I built that, and it does pay off. Does create opportunities to spend time with my kids, to have fun together. It's also a nice way to beat each other with access. That's one of the things that you just can't do anymore. Apparently it's frowned upon. Except in Minecraft. Also a bit more of a relaxed playlist today. It's more of a lo-fi playlist than the usual synthwave playlist that I'm running in the background to determine the pace of my work. Today it's all a little bit more chill. The moment I'm thinking about which of my keyboards I'd like to make my main keyboard, because that'll determine where I'll put the GMK Dracula keycap set. which is my favorite one because it fits my IDE color theme. And I think it's going to be the Saturn 60 that I'm using right now. Actually, I should. Add a scene to my Stream Deck. Let's do that. So there's one more space that I can use. Let's see if this works. Oh, it does. That's the Saturn 60 that I'm using at the moment. A nice 60% keyboard with a steel case and a handle. It's a little bit out of focus, but not sure why. Hello, camera. Now I've screwed it up completely. Ah, here we go. So to anyone who's just joined, this is my office hour stream in which I don't do stuff myself. I'll just wait for the viewers to ask questions and then I'm going to do my best to answer them. Questions all around the open source space, Linux, Ruby coding, IT career, great open source software, all kinds of stuff. So if you have any questions that you think I might be able to answer, or maybe that you think I won't be able to answer, give it a try. I'll be around for another 30 minutes. Well, let's say 28. Waiting for your questions. Post them in chat, starting with a Q and a colon. I think I'm going to start replacing keycaps. Let me grab the keyboard that has the keycaps on it at the moment and a keycap puller. And that's the first row replaced. Now let's put this back on. It's a one-to-one replacement. But don't let me distract you from asking questions. And that's row 2 done. So don't worry, I still have an eye on chat. If anyone wants to ask anything, I'm here. Just keeping myself busy. Let you get away, little keycap. So we're getting there. Last 2 rows. It might be confirmation bias, but I think both keyboards are going to benefit from this switch of keycaps. I know that you can't see the second keyboard, of which I'm transplanting the keycaps, but I'll show you afterwards. Final few keycaps. And that's the Saturn 60 done. The other keyboard, my Molly, also needs the matching numpad keys, so that's how the Molly now looks like. Oh, we've forgotten the spacebar. Let's get you out of here. Knew something was off when I saw a bright pink spacebar. On a keyboard that is supposed to have the serious keycap set of the Space Cadet keyboard. I really love the classic Space Cadet keyboard of the symbolic Lisp machines. And the case here is actually a replica of the Apple M0110A keyboard that came with the Mac Plus back in the 80s. So I need to replace the numpad keycaps, of course, with the Space Cadet keycaps. I'll have to get them out of storage. But the Saturn 60 is done. Okay. That was my little distraction, and there's Xcode Snake asking a question. Brilliant. Welcome to the stack, Xcode Snake. What do you usually do to maintain your motivation high? That is a great question. It's not that I'm not suffering from this issue. Sometimes even during streams. So I guess my first answer would be do something fun. Do something that might not even be related to what you're supposed to do, but yeah, let your mind relax a little bit and don't force it. So, for example, just yesterday when I did my live stream, my live coding stream, oftentimes I really have motivation issues, especially when something gets in the way or something takes a long time. Then even I am getting bored, and of course I'm also anxious that you as my viewers will get bored, and in the past that often led to me ending my stream early. I'm usually scheduling my streams for 2, ideally 3 hours. Not today. Today's stream is only scheduled for an hour, but it's also not a live coding stream. So sometimes I end my stream after 90 minutes or so because I feel tired and not motivated anymore. Something really took the wind out of my sails, and that really cramps my style. What I did differently yesterday, and that resulted in me doing a stream for 3 hours and 10 minutes, I even went over time, was actually I tried Words on Stream for the first time. A little game that I did with my viewers, and that was lots of fun, and we did that during CI runs and test runs, so we were able to bridge these types of things that make me worried and even start boring myself, and that way I then was able to resume when the test run was over. We simply finished our round of words, and then I returned to my coding screen and we did some coding again, and that kept me going for more than 3 hours. I think playing these games in between was key to me having the stamina to do the stream. It wasn't about being rested before starting the stream or anything like that. It was simply to be able to overcome demotivation and anxiety, performance anxiety, something like that. So I think letting things go a little and say, okay, I'll set a timer and watch YouTube for 15 minutes. I'll set a timer and take a nap for 20 minutes. Or I'll take a walk around the block, get some fresh air, and maybe listen to a podcast, but I also make an effort of doing walks without anything in my ears, because that allows my thoughts to surface and allows me to find ideas that I didn't know were there. So just mixing things up, I think, is a great way to maintain your motivation. It's a huge topic, of course, and it's not that easy to answer. That's just an example, and that's just me too. So there's a book by Daniel Pink. Drive: The Surprising Truth About What Motivates Us, and it's well worth a read. Because Daniel Pink really did a scientific examination of motivation and things we do to motivate us or other people. And of course, he did, for example, cover the old carrot and the stick, and discovered that it doesn't really work. It does work in the short term. Threatening people with getting fired gets them doing stuff. Bribing people with the prospect of a raise gets them doing stuff. And it's the same with kids. I have two. Offering them some kind of reward to do things does work in the short term. Threatening to take away the Steam Deck or something like that does work as well. But these carrot and stick things have substantial repercussions, and by applying them wrong or at the wrong time or far too often will actually make everything worse. And so what Pink covers in the book Drive is what he calls Motivation 2.0, where the focus is on intrinsic motivation, something that comes from inside of us and not something that is dangling in front of us like a carrot. So I can highly recommend reading the book. It's not too dry, it's not too scientific. It's definitely one of the seminal books on motivation outside of academic literature. He does cite a lot of academic literature, but yeah. And Xcode Snake follows up with another great question. And what do you do to not procrastinate on a daily basis while working for a client? I mean, sometimes I feel bored or demotivated. I'm going through that issue now. Would like to learn some strategies. Oh dear, I'm not sure if you are asking the right person, because I am guilty of that. Guilty as fuck, in that regard. See, I'm running a remote-first business, a remote-only business for that regard. I've been running that for 13 years. And what's great about being a remote company with a good culture is that there is lots of freedom, and it's really, really satisfying. There are a lot of upsides to being able to schedule your day as you like, most of the time, except if there are scheduled calls or things like that, of course. But the huge downside is there is actually, and thankfully, not a manager who goes around counting butts in chairs and making people at least make a semblance of being working. So, yeah, there are many, many occasions when I do slack off. And I think accountability is the key thing in that regard. For example, promising your colleagues or customers to check in at a specific time. Setting this kind of deadlines, not for the final result, but for a check-in, for some kind of communication, for an update. That goes a long way to keeping you going and working towards a goal. So if I promised a customer not that I'll be ready by, say, tomorrow, but I'll have an update for them by tomorrow, then I need to do something. I can't just tell them, well, the update is we are at the same stage as last week. That can't be the update. So there needs to be something. And sometimes these even arbitrary deadlines do help with sticking with something. Something that goes a little bit further beyond the surface is realizing the why, reminding yourself of why you're doing something. Why am I working for this client? Why am I working for clients in the first place? Why am I doing this freelance job? Or why is it that I do this particular work? And so finding that purpose again, that might have been lost over time. If you're doing this months and months and years, you might actually not think about the purpose anymore. Things are just going, and you kicked off the ball years ago, and now the ball needs to be moving. But reminding yourself why that is, why you're finding yourself where you are at the moment, really helps to rekindle that fire that got you to doing what you're doing, to reconsider your view on things. Maybe something has become boring. I'm someone who thrives off challenges, for example, so if something is not challenging, I'm having a hard time motivating myself. And so maybe I needed to find a challenge in the work that I'm doing right now. Maybe the challenge is not just coding that piece of software, but applying best practices or doing it in the best style possible, or doing it in the most performant way possible, or using some new language construct that has come out lately and you didn't use often enough. Maybe not only adding a feature to your code, but also refactoring the code so that it's up to today's standards, to your standards that might be different and higher than, say, 2 years ago. Finding something that really puts the fun back into what you're doing, or reminds you of your final destination where you're going with your job, with your business, with what you're doing. If you're out, so I'll try another analogy. If you're out on sea for years, it might really be hard to keep going, keep rowing, or keep putting up the sails, reminding yourself why you got on the ocean in the first place and where you're heading can go a long way to give you back a motivation. Snake wrote, in my case was just a huge lack of honesty and communication from the client, and that is what demotivates me. I consider myself doing some quiet quitting. I see. So you're disappointed, frustrated in your client. They did something that you didn't expect, and you don't want to find yourself where you are. I can relate. That happened to me. Let me think. I don't know what your relationship to that client is, and I don't know what your dependency on that client is. Maybe you need the money. But what I've learned and what I'm practicing in my business is that I have certain expectations regarding how we work with our customers. Collaborating with our customers is one of the core tenets of my business. It's basically our business model. Even though we are doing managed hosting, we are not a mass market hosting company. We position ourselves more like an operations team that works with our customers, who most of the time are web agencies. So we basically are the ops to their dev. And for that collaboration to work requires specific, let's call them standards, expectations, rules, something like that. So, for example, this won't work if we are keeping gaslighted by a customer. And or if there is a customer who's always nagging and complaining and maybe making statements about members of our team or something like that. And more than once, I got in touch with the customer, got them on a call, and told them to their face, this is not how we do things. There needs to be a change. What can we change in the way we collaborate? And most of the time, change happened. Most of the time, the customer became apologetic and said, "Oh, I didn't even realize. I'm sorry. I'll try to not do that anymore." Sometimes these clients left us after a while, simply because there was some kind of an impedance mismatch. And some of these customers really valued that candid feedback and have been working with us for years. So don't forget that there is an option of changing the situation actively, not hoping for the client to go away or for this to not repeat, but really taking the rudder and say, okay, nope, that's not the direction in which I want to go. We need to make a change here, or we'll end up somewhere where we really, really don't want to be. And yes, of course, I feel ya. That feels dangerous. That feels That can make you anxious. What if they quit, and what if they don't take that? Well, what if they do? They'll leave space for better customers. I'm talking about the long run, of course. I mean, if you're really, really dependent on the money that they are bringing in, it's hard to be that candid. I am very well aware of that. But if you're building something that you want to last for years, you need to make decisions, and you need to know what your values are and stand by them. Otherwise, do you want to become a punching ball for all your clients? I don't suppose. What do you mean when you say, I'm afraid that I'm sabotaging myself? Sabotaging by being candid, or sabotaging by getting your motivation drained by a client? I think I'll need a little bit more context. This is fun. We are going over time. It's 3:10 already, but this is a great topic, and yeah, we'll definitely keep talking about that for a little while longer. Since it's my family, friends, fun day, and my daughter isn't at home yet, I have time to have fun answering questions, and these are great questions, Xcode Snake. So what I can see from your previous question, let's put that on screen again. What you're calling procrastination is more, I think, sounds to me like avoidance. That client did something bad from your perspective, and now you're avoiding that conflict, trying to do something else that is more fun, and I guess that's what you call procrastination. And yeah, I'm definitely no psychotherapist, but that sounds like avoidance to me, and that's something that's worth taking a look at. Why am I avoiding them? Am I anxious that they'll pull something like that again? Or is it just that you don't want to work with assholes? These are all things that you can control in to a certain degree. If you don't want to work with assholes, don't work with assholes. Stop them right here and now. If you don't want them to pull the same thing again, tell them not to pull the same thing again. I guess it's a little bit about not putting yourself into a victim role. Okay, I can see what you mean. Negating yourself to work with a tech stack that you love and that is fun, and you are afraid that they'll spoil your fun by being that. Exegete, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stack. We're talking about motivation, about bad clients, about keeping up. So yes, Xcode Snake, I can totally relate. You want to do the stuff that's fun with people who are fun. And so let's find a way to combine the fun tech stack with fun people. Maybe you can make these not so good people fun people by talking to them and clarifying what the situation is, how you felt. You can actually give feedback from your own perspective without being judgmental by telling them, when you did that, that felt to me so and so. That made me think that and that. And so make clear what the impact was on your side. And maybe they'll tell you that wasn't the intent. Maybe they'll tell you they didn't realize that and that they are sorry. Maybe they'll tell you to man up and do the work for which you're taking their money. And that'll tell you something too. I can't tell you what to decide, but you'll have more information on which you can base your decisions. Simply by talking to the people and giving them feedback what they are doing. You wrote, it was just the fact that despite the fact that the client is going through a huge stress time, the change in attitude was unexpected. Yeah, I can relate to that too. As a managed service provider, which we are as a managed hosting company, sometimes we have customers who are really struggling. So, they are late with launching something, and then there are issues with deploying their website or with running their website. That's when things get really heated. And that's when the support requests come in that are more insult than request. And that's also occasions where we told people, yeah, we are aware that there is an issue. We are working on it. It's in part caused by the stuff that you are deploying. It's not just we are not to blame here, but we are doing the best we can. You can trust our team to do what's necessary, but we can't do miracles. And can you please not be as judgmental, not be as brusque in your support requests, because that's not fair towards the people who receive them and work on them. Can you please regulate your tone a little? And more often than not, that works, because they realize, oh yeah, shit, I was really stressed out. I had to answer to my boss why the website is not online yet and why the new feature hasn't been launched. And I got heat, and I basically passed on that heat to my hosting provider. And I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, folks. Let's play nice again. Again, it's about feedback. It's about communication. Snake wrote, I felt like I did something wrong when I didn't do anything wrong. So they put you in a situation where it looks like it was your fault, even though it wasn't. And you might actually have contributed to that view. You might have confirmed that view. Yeah, that's a mistake that happens to all of us, and I'm guilty of that as well in the past. I was guilty of that. Don't do it that often nowadays, but I can look back on decades of experience by now. That's something that I had to learn too. And don't be too hard on yourself. I think that's what you meant by that's my art. Happens to the best of us. Exegete wrote, bad clients are tough. The only real freelance I did was for a former employer, which is also a thing that's not always easy. It's easy to get the job because they already know you, and so all of a sudden you get paid a lot more than before because now you're writing the invoices. Rather than knowledge transfer, they had me building features. Insanity. Well, yeah, that's up to them, I guess. And yes, getting things in writing is definitely good practical advice. Because then you can actually, you have something that you can point to and say, we did agree that we'll do that and that. We did agree that this is going to be the result. The things that you are talking about now have never been agreed upon. Don't change the scope of the whole project. Things like that. And Xcode Snake, no, you are not alone in these things. That's happening to everyone who is working with customers, even with customers that are in-house. I mean, back in my corporate past, I had lots of customers. They were all employees of the same company as me, but they were still customers, and I was still beholden to delivering something valuable for them and to them. And it's basically the same situation, other than you can't just send them away. That's, I guess, an advantage of having external customers, that you can actually say, okay, we'll finish this project and then please don't call again. That's not something I could do with a different department in the same company. Exegete, you sound really, really frustrated just because your former employer and then client didn't do the proper, the sensible thing. Sounds like you're disappointed. I find that really, really sweet. That you care so much for them, that you wanted them to do the right thing and to tell you, can you please train someone to do these things instead of you getting paid to do these things? Can you please transfer your knowledge and make this thing sustainable for us? That's what you wanted them to do, and instead they said, yeah, just here, take my money and do the stuff. Balthazar, welcome to the stack. Exactly. It's a very parental relationship. It's a very caring thing to do and think. And I think some clients don't deserve people like you, like that, who really care, who want the best for their clients, and getting frustrated because they don't take it. Oh yeah, okay. Seeing your work as your legacy at that place is definitely also a huge motivator, but it's also dangerous. Don't tie your self-worth to things that you don't have control over. That's a very Stoic thing. That's at the core of the Stoic philosophy. Don't get controlled by things over which you don't have control. So Xcode Snake, I hope that helped a little. Let me think if there's something that I can leave as my parting words for today. maybe just one of the mottos that I followed, that I've learned to follow over the years, which is regardless of what situation you're in, you have 3 options. You can love it, you can leave it, or you can change it. Which means either you are satisfied and happy with how things are in that specific situation, or you have to leave that situation if it's not what you want, if it's not what you want to be exposed to, if it's not what you want to deal with on a daily basis. You might have to say goodbye to it, or to that person. It might also be a personal relationship thing. Or you can change it. But that requires activity, that requires you working towards a goal that you must have defined beforehand. You need to know where you want to be instead of where you are, and how you can get there. And then you can talk to people and try and make the necessary changes that will get you there. At least that you think will get you there. You might be mistaken. We all have to learn our lessons. But taking the steering wheel and actually controlling where you're going is a very important thing. So it boils down to these 3 options: love it, leave it, or change it. And with that was the Monospace Office Hour. It started very slow, boring. Oh, that's my parents-in-law calling here, but it's not for me. It's of course for my kids. Getting your pitch in at the last second, Xcode Snake. Great move. Great move. Okay, Jorge. Okay, good to know. I'll make a note, and I'll definitely connect on LinkedIn anyway. So yeah, that was the Monospace Office Hour, where I answer your question to the best of my knowledge. I'm going into the weekend, and I hope you're going to have a great day and weekend as well. I'll see you next week on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Irish and UK time. I'm going to do a live coding stream, the same on Thursday at 2 p.m. Irish time. And there's also, of course, another office hour on next Friday, same time as today. And there is also going to be a hangout every Tuesday. My desktop is blocked again by something. Something's still not working properly when I try to type stuff in OBS. Just a second. Or maybe you can do it for me. Simply enter !Discord to get the URL of the Monospace Discord, on which we do a hangout every week on Tuesday evenings, at least for me, at 8 p.m. Irish time and UK time, where you can join us either in text chat, in voice, or if you even want to turn on your camera, you're free to do so. And we'll shoot the shit a little and talk about stuff and have a little bit of fun and a good beverage. So lots of options, and I'll list them in the events list on the Monospace Discord as well. Lots of opportunities to talk, and I hope to see you at least one of them. Until then, take care.